Welcome to another episode of Redistricting for Racial Justice, presented by More Equitable Democracy. My name is Bill Ball, and this is episode 9 of Intro to GIS and Census Data. In this episode, we're going to talk about symbology, which is just a fancy way of saying we're going to start coloring our map. And we're going to learn 3 different ways of doing this. We're going to be, the first way being single symbols, then we're going to look at categorical data, and then finally quantitative data. So let's go ahead and pick up from where we left off. So we have our map of Ohio here, and we're looking at every single block group in the state. Let's go ahead and double-click on the shapefile. Let's get this out of the way, and we'll go to the Symbology tab. And then we'll see here that there's 5 different ways to do this. We're only going to talk about the first 3. So the first one, we'll go to Features and Single Symbol. Now all this is just... it's going to give every feature in your map, in this case our feature is block groups, it's going to color it the exact same way. And you can see here it shows a nice lovely shade of green with a gray border. And so, for example, if we wanted to have a blue fill with a hot pink border, we can do that. Hit apply. And there we go. This is not rocket science here. You can make a thick border here. You can do whatever you want here. I don't want to spend too much time on this, but it's pretty basic. The next type of symbology we're going to talk about is this categorical data. So if we choose categories, we click on unique values here, and then we go to the value field. Now, if you can think if there's any good categorical data in here, there's not much, but I could think of one, and that'd be county. So we have a whole bunch of block groups, and each one of these block groups is assigned a county. So a county could be a category that would work for us, I think. So let's go ahead and click on county, and then we click Add All Values. And ARC's really good at just choosing the worst color scheme possible by default, and so we're stuck with that for now. But we see that every county, and counties are represented by numbers. These, again, they're the FIPS code. In the same way that every state has a unique number, every county also has a number as well. And so it sees every single number here, or county, is giving a different lovely shade of whatever color. So let's go ahead and click Apply and see what happens. Okay, not the prettiest map, but we see what's going on here. Let's move on to quantitative data finally. And this is actually what we're going to use for our final map. So let's go ahead and get a head start on this right now. If we click on quantities and we click on graduated colors, and again, what we want to map here is percent people of color. Okay? And so if we go to value and go to this drop down, let's start with POC at the top. Okay, so we got people of color, and it's going to put the total number of people of color within each block group right here. It's not exactly what I want. I want percent people of color. And so we've got this value, then we've got normalization underneath it. And normalization just means divide by. So if we've got people of color divided by total, that should give me percent people of color. And you can mess around with this if you wanted to have, 11 breaks, or we'll stick with the default. And if you want to mess with the actual percentages here, you can do that as well. We're not going to go over this episode, but go wild if you want to. Let's go ahead and click OK. And okay, it's kind of hard to see. These block groups are so small. Let's zoom in on, let's say, Dayton, for example. So I'm going to zoom in on Dayton. And it starts making sense here. Dayton's a very segregated city, as you can see. We have the people of color here, more living on the northwest side of town. So this map makes sense. And we know we did it right. And so that's going to conclude this episode. We just talked about symbology and a couple different ways to color our maps. We're getting close to the end now. I think we've got maybe 1 or 2 more to go, so I hope you're as excited as I am. The next episode, we're going to start actually building our map. And if you have any questions or comments, please leave them below in the chat box, and we'll see you in the next episode. Thank you.